Jai Shri Mataji, Luis.
Jai
Hello.
Shri Mataji.
How
How
are
are you,
you?
Daniel?
Yeah, I'm good. You let's pretend we don't know how we are each other, although we are talking for 15 minutes because we start before we start the recording. So, um, hello everybody who are watching us, and thank you for that. And thank you for your interest in the in Louis' stories. And I get some comments and some requests about Luis to tell us more stories about his encounter with Shimataji and other stuff. So, Luis, please tell us. For example, we were talking about Shimataji's book, so that's a very interesting subject. So, can you uh,
Yes, so the
develop
what
a
is
little
now it became called the Book of Shri Adi Shakti.
bit?
But Shri Mataji never gave a title to the book because Mother was so busy spreading Sahaj Yoga, and she wrote the book early on. And in those days, this was very advanced knowledge. And it also mentions a lot about the dead entities and the spirits. And some people feel afraid of that subject. They don't have the courage to look into it. And Mother was very direct and in great detail. She talks about the possessions and how the possessions can be a cause of cancer also. And this is not, at the time, this was not yet scientifically proved. So it was a bit like a polemic point of view Mother had to say that. One of the possible causes of cancer can be possessions. This is a very strange thing. Some people don't accept this hard truth. If you are a Christian, you know from reading the Bible that the possessions exist. Christ used to remove them. But Mother went a step further by saying, in sometimes, some cancers could be caused by possessions. I remember playing a talk of Mother at the program once, in England, and there was a man in the audience. When he heard Mother saying that, he got very, very shocked and very upset. His wife had just passed away from cancer, and to hear the truth that it could be, I mean, that cancer can be caused by possessions, he felt so upset to hear that. But the truth is, Mother said that possessions is not the only cause of cancer.
Yeah,
Even chemicals,
yeah,
but bad food also, bad diet can be a cause of cancer. Drinks, alcohol, anything can be. There are many possible causes of cancer, but possessions is an important one, really,
yeah,
and perhaps more common than people realize. So the book had these difficult polemic questions are there, and Mother was not in a rush to publish, and she kept saying that I have more important things to do. And then it became important for Mother to write another book, which became Meta Modern Era. So, in a sense, Mother did not finish the book as such, and there were two chapters on the index that Mother never wrote. One was the called Saj Yoga and Science. Shri did not write that chapter for this book, the Book of Adi Shakti. And another one was the future of Sahaj Yoga. Shri Mataji never wrote the book about the future of the chapter about the future of Sahaj Yoga.
Okay,
So people,
I
so
have a question, please, if I may interrupt you just
yes, yes, yes,
for a little bit. Um, I have the book, but to my shame, I don't know two things. When Shimataji start writing and for how long she write the books, obviously one chapter here, one chapter there, some ideas during one period, some ideas other. And when the book was published, obviously I have no idea if are many editions first, and I don't know what edition I have it. So, can you remember us
a little bit. You see,
when the
I
book was published? Obviously, uh,
after Mother's death already,
after
the book
exactly
posthumously, yes.
after mother's death, and who were the editors, which
Gregoire.
bring me
Gregoire was the main editor, yes.
to the idea of the chapter you said were added. Any idea who write those chapters?
No, nobody wrote those chapters, so the index had to be corrected to remove those two chapters because Mother put several people in charge of the book. Initially, Mother dictated the book to a cassette. You see, then the
Ah,
cassette was transcribed. So Mother spontaneously, each chapter is one lecture of Mother talking to a cassette, to a tape recorder. You
oh,
see,
okay.
and then the cassette is transcribed. In those days, there were no computers yet,
Yeah,
and it's typed onto an ordinary typewriter. And then Mother made some changes. Gregoire was also helping with that, writing and rewriting and
yeah.
changing things. And Mother kept doing more chapters. So in one of
Do you know
the
when she started dictating?
very early, I mean, same time as the Advent, So this is 1980. Mother was already giving, some chapters for that book. Bit by bit, she dictated all the chapters for the book, except for two chapters she never dictated. Dictating meaning she never talked because Mother
Eh,
talked.
So
She
who
spoke to a
writes those?
cassette.
Who
Sri
was the
Mataji, Sri
the last
Mataji
the last?
Srimataji, yeah, Srimataji wrote the index of the book, and on the index of the book there were all the chapters that
Yes,
Mother wanted to cover.
yes,
And there are two chapters there. One chapter is called "The Future of Saj Yoga."
yes. And
The other one is another chapter is called Saj Yoga and Science, and Mother never wrote those chapters.
so
So
who
people,
wrote them?
nobody wrote those chapters. Those chapters were removed. Then from the index they had to be taken out from the index
Ah,
because Mother did not write them. You see.
yes,
So
yes.
this was the big question for a long time. People were asking, we lost two chapters. There are two chapters missing. But I knew because there was a time I was working on that book also with Mother, that Mother said, no, I'm not going to write those chapters because I've covered this subject in Meta-modern era. You see,
Ah,
Sajog in science, Mother covered already in Meta-modern era, and the
yes.
future of Sahaj Yoga. She felt, no, I'm not going to write those chapters because I've covered that in Meta-modern era, and I don't have time. And this book is not so important because it's only for Saj Yogis. It's not for the public as
So
such. Meta-modern era.
the chapters are basically only the titles on the index.
Yes, so Mother wrote all Mother
Yeah.
gave all the chapters that she projected that she planned to
Yes.
do,
Yeah.
except for two, because
Yeah.
she got too busy.
Yeah.
At one time, people asked her, "Mother, when are you going to do the last two chapters that's still missing?" And Mother said, "I have more important things to do, because Mother was spreading Sahaj in the whole world. And then she started writing another book. Mother could not do it. She said, later it will be done, later maybe, but those I'm not writing."
I have another question. It's happened to you to know. It's happened to you to know where are the originals, the cassettes? Uh, Anybody check the transcription to see if are accurate? Could be a genuine mistake.
To my knowledge, nobody has the cassettes. The cassettes were put to the side. The cassettes would not match with the current book because as soon as the cassette was transcribed, Mother would start. Mother had a typescript and she would start making changes. So now there's no need to go back to cassette.
Yeah.
Mother already studied the typescript and made many changes to the
Ah, okay.
typescript.
Yeah.
So now this has to be typed again, you see.
Yeah.
So this process took place many times,
Yeah.
of Mother making changes to the typescript of that chapter and that chapter being typed again and typed again. So now you don't want to go back to the original cassette.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Nobody knows where the cassettes are. I think they may have been given back to Shri Mataji at one point, and now they don't. They would not have matched with the book in any
Yeah.
case
Yeah.
because it suffered so many changes.
Yeah.
So many things in that book were correct, but Mother cut them off all the same because she considered it too advanced. So some of the old typescripts survived, and people can see by comparing. Oh my God, Mother mentioned other names of the gurus and of the saints that don't appear in the other versions. Why? Who took his stuff? Mother took it off
Yeah.
because it was too much information, too many deities, too many great saints of the past, and Mother cut them off. Those. It does not mean to say Mother made a mistake on the
Make it
first
make
version.
it simple. Make it
Simpler.
compact,
Yeah,
probably.
not so complex. Some other simplified certain things.
Yeah.
So when you see discrepancies between the
Yeah.
some earlier versions of the chapters that survived and the new ones, The current ones are more accurate. They are more a better reflection of what mother wanted to do in the final version, you know. So at one point, I mean, my involvement is very small in this book. I mean, I was asked to, I tell you what happened there. Shri Mataji was very particular about vibrations of everything we do. For mother, vibrations is the most important thing. And some people give this example that I think I may have said this before. Sometimes you'd have a room painted many times just to improve the vibrations. So the room had been painted already, perfectly painted, and there's no problem. The painting has not been spoiled or scratched, or decorations sometimes can get wrecked because of building work. But no, everything was fine. And mother would say, "Okay, let's give it another coat of paint, you know." And then later on, another coat of paint, and later on, another coat of paint until the vibrations were correct. Sometimes the person who gave another coat of paint, he was working on his vibrations and still there's problems, you know. So another coat of paint until the vibrations are
Uh,
correct. So during the making of this book, there was, there was
just a second. Where, in what house it's happened that with
in many houses because mother
ah,
kept changing residence. You see, this is
ah,
over the years. So at that time, mother
over
was
the
in a suddenly, mother was staying in a flat, not in her usual house, because SCP every now and again had to have another flat for receiving diplomats, you know.
Mhm.
Sometimes he didn't want to bring diplomats to his own house,
Yep.
so he would get another big flat that he was being rented just for receiving diplomats and their wives and delegations, you know. And
Yep.
mother would go and stay there with him, of course, because he has to spend some time there
Yep.
and arrange some dinners and big functions. A diplomat's wife is essential, has to always be present during these functions. So mother was staying there in one of those flats, you know. And there was a Saj Yogi came from a long distance to work on that book, you know, to help transfer all these type scripts onto a diskette. So
Mhm.
in those days, it was, I think it was called Lotus, the software, or Lotus. It was not yet Word. Word was not a popular thing. Nowadays, Word is very popular. In those days, Lotus was a bit more popular. So everything was put onto Lotus with with a small computer.
Who
So
was
it
that?
was.
Who was that person?
Oh, that person passed away. So we don't mention his name anymore because things didn't go well. So that person was very ill, you know, very, very ill with lots of contagious diseases. And he came and stayed in that flat with mother. That flat only had three bathrooms, you know. So one bathroom was kept apart for mother servant. So mother servant had a small bathroom just for himself. Mother had her own bathroom. And then there was a third bathroom which was 30 piece. Now this Yogi is staying there with mother in the flat to work on the book. And so he's sharing a bathroom with 30p. But meanwhile, he has lots of contagious diseases. And
Yeah,
he
I
decided,
remember. Yeah, I remember
I
you
think we
told.
mentioned that, yes.
I remember
So
you mentioned. Yes, and Sir CP said, "How? Why you don't mention that?"
Cersei never knew about these things.
Yes.
Nobody ever told this to Cersei, but suddenly he became very ill and in great pain. So he told mother that I have this disease and that disease and that disease and that disease. And mother said, well, you should have said it earlier
Yeah.
because you've been sharing a bathroom with Cersei. There's a certain risk of contagion, you know. So you should have been more careful and at least be honest and transparent and say those things. So for that reason, mother was not pleased with the transcript. So when he passed the when he transferred the texts, you know, into a diskette, you know, on a computer, once mother found out that he had done that big mistake, mother said, "All right, so now the vibrations are not right. This has to be done again." And that's how I had my little involvement starts at this phase. So I'm also on that team that has to type it all again. You see, because with computer technology, you can transfer the contents of that cassette to another cassette to clean it up. That's one way of doing. And we did that, in fact. We transferred it then from Lotus to another package called Multimate. You know, in those days, Multimate was more advanced even than the Lotus. So it was changed to Multimate. But mother said,
When
no, yeah,
when
this
it
was
happened?
in,
When your
I think,
involvement? When start?
I think it was 1986 I was doing this, the typing of it again, you know.
86. Who
85,
who else?
86.
Who else
There was the Dr.
in the team?
Raises. Dr. Regis was the man in charge, really. He was the more senior, more knowledgeable, about computers because he was an expert in computers, that Dr. Regis. He was the man in charge. But I was helping because our job was to type the whole book again because mother
Yes.
wanted to type thought again, not just a computer transfer because you
Uh-huh.
can transfer from one disk to another or from one software package to another. No, mother, type the whole thing again.
Yeah.
So, and also check that he did not do any mistakes because when he did the first work of transferring from from TypeScript to computer, he may have done some mistakes. In fact, he did some mistakes that mother was not pleased. Is that he
The
tried
the first
the
the first
grammar?
the first guy who made the,
Yeah,
yeah.
when he first transferred the TypeScript to to computer,
Yes.
certain things he did a very good job in some points because some of mother's handwriting was very hard to understand. When mother does some corrections on the TypeScript by hand with pens and different colors, it's quite difficult now to get the correct text because if you insert the text that mother wrote, you have to delete some of the bits, or the new sentence may not join with the ones that went before and after. So that takes a little bit of editing. That he did a very good job because he had mother next to him. So whenever he had to
Yeah.
any problems, he could check with mother. Is this correct now?
Yeah.
And mother agreed. So that he did a beautiful job. But then he also decided to improve mother's grammar. This is where mother felt this is a lack of respect. Because that he could have asked me also if he doesn't agree with the grammar, one sentence or another, he could have asked me. So that was something he did arbitrarily. He changed the grammar of a few sentences. So it sounded a bit more like American style of English rather than mother's style of English. Because mother
Plus,
has a style.
plus, you without knowing, you can alter
The meaning also
the
without
meaning,
realizing,
change. You
yes.
want to
You know.
improve something and
So
you make it worse. Yeah.
so this is the bits we had to check where he made changes. We had to put it back according to the text.
Yeah.
But he did a good job. Otherwise, he did not do many mistakes. He only made the changes in grammar a few times only. And the hard part, which was to integrate some extra comments from mother, did that very well because he could ask mother how to do it. Mother was there with him.
Yeah.
But the problem was the vibrations were not right because he had been betraying.
That's
So mother
exactly
said,
what I want to
"You
say. Yeah.
we have to type it all again." So at the time, we told mother, there's two chapters missing. Did they get lost? And mother said, "No, they didn't get lost. I never wrote those chapters."
Yeah.
Means in writing, mother didn't write it because mother would just talk spontaneously to a cassette, and that's the book. But then it gets changed and improved and changed and changed. So there are several versions of the chapters over the years because mother kept changing them.
So
And when
what
the
was your involvement, Luis? And
very modest involvement, just typing it all again, you see.
how many people you
Me and Races, we typed it again.
two two people?
Two of us, yes, we typed it again.
Yeah.
But when you type a book,
When you finish.
oh, that took us about 6 months to type the whole thing again.
Okay.
We worked hard, and then we had to check that we had not done mistakes ourselves also because it's
Yes.
very easy to.
You showed to Shri Mataji, obviously.
No, but then mother was too busy. We could not show it to mother. Mother said, okay, fine, that's good. And so later when I have time, we'll look into it, but it's not a priority now. So mother at the time she was so busy doing really great, important, I mean, starting new schools, starting new foundations for Saja Yoga, big, big projects. For mother, this book was never something she prioritized, you see.
So
And yet it's
what's happened with the transcript? You you've done it. Where
I
was
gave everything back to Gregoire. Whatever I had, I gave everything back to Gregoire. So Gregoire had several versions, in fact. He had some older versions. He had the most recent version that mother had corrected with that Sajyogi. That Sajyogi, then he passed away. He got very ill, he passed away, so he was not available in any case. But he did a good job, apart from a few mistakes also, which affected the vibrations. Overall, he did a good job. So there was an assumption that the most recent version was a fair reflection of what Mother wanted. The older versions may have a little bit extra information, but Mother took it off. It was too much information,
Yeah.
and simplified it a bit. She never wrote those two chapters, so the index had to be changed. Mother never gave a title to the book, also, so that
So
had to be done.
the no, not the manuscript. We cannot call it the manuscript, but
No, it's a transcript.
the transcript you've done it. Uh, I understand well in 1986.
True. And then this was all given back to Mother. You see, all the materials, the transcripts, and the
You
and
give
the
it
and the
to Shri Mataji after you finish.
yes, yeah,
Did Shri Mataji give it to Gregoire?
no.
No.
It was left at Cabela there in a drawer, and people could not find it. And in the end, they found the drawer. But I had a copy, so I
Uh-huh.
also had a copy of my on a cassette of the work I did. Me and Regis, we kept backups in case things get lost. You see,
Yes.
so
Yes.
the transcripts, the typescripts, they had Mother's handwriting on it, showing some changes.
Yeah.
So that was given to Cabela by a Regis. He gave that to Mother. It stayed there at Cabela in a drawer, and then they found it in the end.
Yeah.
And I kept for backup, I kept a diskette just to be on the safe side. Regis also kept a diskette, but then Regis passed away. Regis also passed away. He was much older than me.
So you keep your diskette.
I had a diskette, then I gave it to Gregoire. Now I don't have it.
Ah,
And
you
then
give it.
Gregoire did the final thing. John Noyce has some of the older, older versions, older typescripts. They kept changing. Mother kept changing the typescripts bit by bit, bit by bit. And so the book came into existence like this. Mother just dictated some chapters when she was free, spontaneously, and the book is incredible. The knowledge flows from Mother like a river, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, to write a book like that, it's amazing what Mother can do. But
Yeah.
Mother is telling us this book is not important, comparing to other things more important that she had to do, because meta-modern era is for the whole population. It's not just for yogis, whereas this book is too advanced for population. It's really this book of Adi Shakti is mainly for Saj yogis,
Yeah.
because otherwise it's too advanced. People can't understand without self-realization or without being in Sahaj for a while. It is a hard book, unless you find a person who is a genius who can understand immediately. But for ordinary people, it is a hard book.
Yeah. So what do you remember about this period of time? Um, because um, I suppose in late 80s, you still meet Shrimataji quite often. So what are you remember of those times?
So then Mother moved to Cabela, isn't it? So then it became harder for me to meet Mother. I still met Mother in Cabela once or twice.
Hold on
Uh,
a second. I want to ask you something. Sorry to interrupt. What you just want to start, but I remember something else about moving to Cabela. What I knew, and I want to make sure that it's right, that's why I'm asking you, is that when Shimataji moved from England to Europe, I won't say Cabela, because that's exactly the core of the question. I know, um, could be wrong, but what I know, she want to move to France initially, and she have a short attempt to stay in France, and she couldn't. Uh,
no,
I don't know how long was this attempt. Obviously, she knew everything about, but I'm sure she want to make a point. And after that, from France to move, she moved to Kabbalah. First of all, please tell me if I'm right. And secondly, tell
I
me
don't know. This,
more
this, I
details.
mean, I don't have details on that. You have to ask the French His mother bought the
Okay.
castle there, and then she got rid of the castle. There
Yes.
were a few attempts, but first mother went to Pratistan. Mother was at Shudi Camps in Cambridgeshire,
Yes.
and from there she went to Pratistan first because she had a lot of work to do in Pratistan also. Lots of legal there was legal disputes to do that property. because of regulations to do with electricity and using a house that is agricultural land and turning into a different project that is not strictly agriculture.
Yep.
So mother had many issues to resolve there in the courts. Even in India, she had a kind of legal battles there.
Mhm.
So mother had a few legal battles with the authorities there in India, which she won in the courts. In UK, the same. There were legal battles with regulations and permitted uses of the house, because the house that she becomes did not have legal permission to for religious purposes. You know, it was not for that purpose. You see.
Mhm.
So, same happened to her house in London. Then mother bought another house in London in Ealing. You know, and again the authorities came against mother. Oh, this is an interesting story. It's not my story, but Jeff tells the story. You see, is that this is very complex. So when mother had a house in Ealing, the project didn't go right. You know, there were problems. You know,
Where is that place?
the problem was very serious. You know, mother wanted that ashram just as a temporary residence, so there was no need to demolish everything and rebuild the whole house with so much expense. You know, but usually mother did that. I think some Saj yogis builders, they assumed that mother wanted to do the usual, which is to demolish everything and to rebuild everything. It is very costly, you see. So there was a lot of money wasted that way. So a project that should have cost hardly anything to renovate ended up costing a fortune because of that assumption that mother wanted everything stripped to the bare bones of the building and then rebuilt again. So so much money was lost, you know. But mother doesn't worry about money. She said, "All right, what we do, we are going to rent it to Saj Yogis for a while, and those rents will make up the loss. So the loss that was, you know, in work and materials, you know, they threw away all the electric pipes, electric wires. They threw away all the copper pipes. All the heating was thrown away and radiators. You know, they could have recycled the old ones, and they didn't. They took all the cement from the walls. They had to put new plaster the whole house. It's very expensive. And so I said, all right, money is not important. We'll rent this ashram temporarily to the Saj yogis, and that will recover some of the loss and problem solved. You know, so mother had a solution for everything. But now, officially, mother, it looks like mother is receiving an income, you see, from the house.
Yeah.
That's this. The authorities could say, oh, no, look, see, there's evidence of payments being done to Shri Mataji, so she has to pay tax. But in fact, mother was not, it was not a matter of mother having an income from that place. It was a matter of recovering some losses that were done by mistake, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
of bad communication, lack of diligence in getting proper instructions from mother, making assumptions rather than checking. So mother was not really having an income at all. This was just a way of recovering some big losses that mother incurred during the renovation of the place. You know. So the question arose about whether mother was paying tax or not and whether the tax was correct or anything. The neighbors complained about the noise. It all started because the neighbors turned against Saj Yogis. They are making too much noise during the renovation of the building. And Saj Yogis have a tendency to work at weekends. That's when everybody's free. Saj Yogis come there to help at weekends.
Yeah.
The neighbors want peace and quiet at weekends, you know. So the neighbors have to put up with noise during the week and during the weekends. And then they look at why is so many people living here? This is in breach of regulations of multiple occupancy, you see. So suddenly the authorities came to disturb Saj Yoga that look, this is a place has to be closed down. You have illegal multiple occupancy. Uh, what's happening to the income generated by this building? Who is paying tax or not? This that there is many questions, and the local office dealing with all this situation was the Ealing tax office was in charge of solving all these problems. You know,
Where is that Ealing?
Ealing is a borough of London. You know, where the house was.
Uh-huh.
I,
West,
I I I
west,
live in Ealing, as it happens. It's West London. It's
west.
West London.
Yeah.
It's more towards Heathrow, you see.
Yeah.
And so suddenly, the tax office, you know, was dealing with mother's case and trying to cause trouble. Guess what happened to the office? The office went on fire. Problem solved.
I want to say, yeah.
I mean, this is such a it's such a joke, you know. That office was trying to challenge, you know, Adi Shakti. Mother was innocent, of course. Mother done nothing wrong, but they wanted to disturb Mother, and their office went on fire, and they lost all the records. They could not deal with the case. You know, all the papers go on fire, everything.
Wow.
Okay, that problem was over. You see, they forgot about it. They had more important things to do because they were just trying to harass. Basically, the neighbors got upset with Saj Yogis for the noise. And so they wanted to harass. They were trying to harass Shri Mataji, you know. But once mother was staying there, you know, Amjad Amli Khan is a great sarod player, Indian classical musician of India. Amjad Ali Khan, he plays the sarod, and he came with these children to play for Shri Mataji to give a private concert to mother, which he gave, a beautiful concert he gave. And I think mother was entertaining them in the garden. It was summer, so they were having a tea party in the garden. And some neighbors, they saw mother there, you know, with important guests, you know, talking. And they came over the fence and they started shouting abuse at mother during that reception, you see. So mother shouted back at those neighbors. Can you imagine? And then she said, "The boots have gone now. Don't worry about the neighbors anymore because now that mother shouted at the neighbors, all the boots left, you see. So the neighbors didn't realize they were just being instruments for the boots who want to disturb mother. The boots want to stop mother's work. So, but when mother shouted at the neighbors, all the boots from those neighbors left because that's how the entities act. So people were surprised. Why is mother shouting at the neighbors? Mother would not shout back or retaliate or anything. But on that occasion, mother had to clear out the neighbors. So those neighbors were causing all the trouble and giving false reports to the authorities. Mother actually told them off in public there and then, very firmly.
Yeah.
And then she said, "You don't need to worry about these neighbors anymore because all their boots have gone. The moment mother shouts at you, your entities run away, so problem solved." After that, the tax office went on fire as well. Okay, problem solved. And it became a great joke, you know, the
And
whole thing.
the neighbor stopped, or
They gave up harassing, you know, after that. When mother gave them a good tell-off, they gave up.
yeah.
They stopped harassing. And then the Ealing tax office also stopped harassing. They went on fire. And that's it, problem solved, over.
Wow.
I mean, mother has a solution for everything.
So after that, she moved. How
Then
long
she
after
moved.
that she moved to France?
I don't remember dates. I don't have a
No,
head
no,
for
no.
dates.
Roughly a few years. I mean,
Yes,
end of
maybe a few
eight,
years.
end of 80s, something like that.
Something like that. When mother gave a last puja in that house in Ealing, and throughout the whole puja, mother was talking about Islam, you know, and about the dangers of. Mother's getting old already by then, and mother was very concerned about fundamentalism. She kept saying that the worst problem in the world now is fundamentalism, Islamic wars and fundamentalism
In
are
the
some of.
meantime, was the revolution in Iran?
No, I mean that came after, you see. That had
After.
not yet started. The ISIS, the thing of ISIS and all that had not even started. Mother
No,
was
no, no. I'm
still.
talking about the Ayatollah
Oh,
in Iran. By that time, they already started the revolution in Iran.
yes, many years ago. So mother left the Ealing House in 2003 or something like that. 2003, yeah, 2003. Mother left Ealing House, and
Okay.
it was sold. The house was sold. Mother in the end sold the house.
Yeah.
That house was very, very difficult to use for Sahaj because the neighbors are complaining, the authorities are complaining. So mother felt, all right, we sell it and buy something else in France, maybe a castle or something, you know. But in the end, it didn't work out that way, and mother went to Kabbalah instead, you know. So that last puja in kneeling, mother was all the time talking about the dangers of Islam, the dangers of fundamentalism, you know. She told us in Sahaj not to write about Islam because if you say something against Islam, it's dangerous, as you know. They might, if you
Yeah.
write a book against Islam, they might set your house on fire. So mother knew these are very dangerous people. You should not You need to be careful what you do. She said, don't put into writing certain things Mother said on the talks. Mother said a few things about Islam. She said, don't publish those things. They're just for Saj yogis. They're not for publication. That's
Mhm.
to protect. That's to protect Saj yogis in case
Yeah,
some
yeah.
fundamentalists might have wanted to uh, not. They may not understand how much we respect Islam, because the truth is, in Sahaj we have a lot of respect for Islam. Although we also know that people who are fundamentalists, they are not the true Muslims. They are not the correct
Uh,
interpretation of Islam is not fundamentalism. You know, that is not the correct one. But Mother has a very correct love for Islam, isn't it? Of deep understanding of everything, you know. So we respect Islam a lot, but we don't. But Mother was not in favor of fundamentalism and terrorism. So Mother was always talking about. She was so worried about terrorism is going to spoil the whole world, cause so many problems. I mean, as you know, it's still today it is not easy to spread Sahaj Yoga in Muslim countries. You know,
oh,
I mean,
oh,
it is difficult. I mean, there was a Sahaj Yogi here in UK. Was also a teacher of. He was a teacher of physics. You know, so he was a great academic. He then became a Saj Yogi. He was from Iran. And he decided to go to, I think it was to Saudi Arabia. He decided to go there and give a course about homeopathy.
mhm,
And at the same time, he would also show his research about vibrated water and Saj Yoga. So he did that. He thought he could get away with that. And mother said to him, don't do that. It's too dangerous. Don't go. But he said, oh, mother, I don't have any fear of any kind. I'll just do it. No, 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 no. Mother said, don't do it. It's too dangerous. Don't go there to Saudi Arabia teaching Saj Yoga. Because in those days it was against the law to teach Saj Yoga to a Muslim. You could teach Saj Yoga to a non Muslim, to a Christian, or to another Hindu. You could teach Saj Yoga. You could have programs there in Saudi Arabia, even pujas, but they are for the Indian people. They are not for the Muslims. The Muslims, you should not try and convert a Muslim into a different religion. That's against the law. So he arrived there. He was a Muslim. But now he started teaching. He was a physicist and an important one. He was teaching homeopathy. Then he started teaching a little bit of his research into the effect of vibrated water on the growth of plants. You know, he had done good research. He had some proof, some samples. So far, so good. Then he started teaching also about Saj Yoga. At this point, he was arrested naturally. When he was arrested, he was condemned to be hanged. So his sentence was to be hanged. So they kept him in jail to hang him, you see. Meanwhile, because he was an important physicist, the whole academic community in England made a big fuss, you see, that, oh, come on, this is one of our colleagues, he's a great physicist, please don't kill. So the authorities then Saudi Arabia gave him a good beating, you see, a very nice beating, and then released him and told him, don't ever come back to this country to do a thing like this. So I went to collect him at the airport because I got a call. Are you free to collect this yogi? Oh, yes, yes, I'll go and collect him. I met him once. I knew he was. So I went to the airport. When he came, I didn't recognize him, you see. He had been 3 months in jail. He had been beaten up. It was like, oh my God, what did you do? Well, I forgot to do what mother told me. He told me. He said to me, mother told me not to do this, and I thought I have no fear, and I'm very courageous. But he had been in jail for 3 months, waiting to be hanged, and being beaten up, and then in the end they released him, just to avoid the scandal of
wow.
the authorities didn't want to kill another academic person, you see, but. He made a mistake. Mother was right, you see. Mother warned him, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't go. He did it, you see. Oh my God, he got a shock.
I cannot,
I also got a shock
I
when
cannot
I met
stop.
him at the airport. Sorry?
I cannot stop to make a comment about that. Obviously, the guy made the mistake. That's obvious. It's not.
Uh,
We cannot comment on that. But what I can what I can comment is that his Spanish was much worse than
the same.
his
Yes.
his deeds. One, and secondly, there are many other people around Shri Mataji. who make bigger mistakes than that one,
Yes,
they not only not being treated like that, but they won't be punished at all. At least in this world. Maybe they will be
true,
punished
true.
in
But you
the
see,
in the next life.
it was punished by Saudi Arabian law, which is a very strict law.
Yes,
You see,
yes, I know that. Yeah,
Mad
but
was
that
protecting Mad was protecting him against the very serious law of Saudi Arabia that if you break that law, the punishments are very hard.
yeah,
So Mother told him not to do it, not to do it. He did it, and is one of the few people who came out alive after doing that serious mistake. You see, that he came out alive is a miracle. You know how the because even if he's a famous academic, it makes no difference. He was sentenced to death. That execution had to take place. But then in the end, they changed their mind. And that's when I say, I think Mother somehow made a miracle here that how he was not executed is
yeah.
such a miracle,
That's another
you
way
know.
of looking. I mean, I was looking
But
on one way. The other angle
yes,
it could be worst. So
it could have been much worse. He got a nice beating up. You know, he was badly beaten up, and the fear of being hanged. You know, he had to wait 3 months waiting for that, and then he was released. You see, and they told him, if ever you come back here, we'll hang you by the neck. So don't you ever come back here.
so
So, so
you
the
meet
authorities.
you
Mother
meet
was
him after that. Have you you saw him after a while?
no,
No,
I
you
never
never.
saw him again.
Uh-huh.
Nobody saw him after this incident. He went underground, you see.
Okay.
He disappeared somehow, he disappeared. But mother was worried about the dangers of Muslim fanaticism. Muslim fundamentalism is a dangerous thing. You have to be careful, you know. This is a case where mother gave the warning to this person and he did not believe it, you know. He didn't understand how dangerous it is. Because people go there and do pujas of Saj Yoga in those countries. But they are careful because they are doing the pujas only for people who are Indians, people whose religion is Hinduism. So it's okay, that's legal. You can do that. Even mother had some pujas there in those countries, but
Yeah.
they were strictly speaking only for Hindus or Christians, people who are not Muslims. So this was in breach of those regulations. Mother knew the danger. She warned him, you know. So yes, at the time in Ealing, mother was very concerned, very worried about wars caused by these fanatics and the wars they are going to cause. Mud was being a prophet because all that happened after.
Yes.
Then it started happening, you know. There was so many wars to do with this fanaticism. What to do? But
Uh,
mother tried very hard.
yeah. Shimataji's moved to Kabela. Um, do you know few things about that movement?
No, I mean, I was here in England and mother was in Italy. I only went there for pujas once or twice, you know. I remember going there once, you know, and this was an interesting thing. Mother gave me a test, a small test there. I arrived there, mother, and the sun was coming into mother's face, you know, where mother was sitting down, and I could see the sun was falling into mother's face, and mother was covering her face, you know. So I said, "Shall I close the window?" And mother said, "Yes, go and close it." That means closing the wooden those
Yeah.
with those the Italian houses. They have a kind of a
Yes.
wooden window outside to cover to shelter from the sun.
Yes.
So I tried to. These are shutters. Some people call it shutters, isn't it?
Shutters.
I tried to move those shutters, but they were like rusted, the hinges, and very old. And I was afraid this might break and fall down even, you know. I just could not move them well enough. So rather than I managed to move one of the shutters a little bit, not the two of them, and mother then just moved a little bit to the side and she was fine. But as I was trying, mother said, yes, yes, it's not easy. This house is more than 2,000 years old, mother told me. And I was amazed. I
1,000?
said, 2,000 years old, mother said. And when mother told me this, I told immediately my brain spoke to me like this.
Yeah.
Uh, that's not possible because then the house would have been built around the days of Christ. And this house, everybody knows, is maybe from the 16th, 17th century at the most, you know. So this is the history of the house. It's maybe 16th, 17th century, you know. It's not a house built during the Roman times when Christ was around. It's not possible, no. But I know that mother knows everything and I have to be polite, so I didn't say anything. I
Yes.
just, but mother must have heard my thoughts. And then I received an email. Those days there was already email, and they had done an archaeological survey of the house, and they found prehistoric evidence that the house was built on top of an old fort, which was more than 2,000 years old. So what mother said was 100% correct. The house itself, maybe rebuilt in 16th, 17th century, but it was built over the foundations of an ancient Iron Age fort, let's say, which was more than 2,000 years old. So the foundations of the house are actually from the days of Christ, from 2,000 years ago or more, even, who knows?
I was
So
thinking about that. I was
thank
thinking
God,
about that. Yes.
thank God I was polite not to say anything,
Yes.
because I got my answer on an email a few days after, not long after this conversation with mother. I
Ah,
got that email and I said, "Oh my God, thank God I was polite and said nothing and
yes.
kept my thoughts to myself."
Wow.
So I had a narrow escape, but I would have made a fool of myself. Mother knows everything, really.
But Luis, you have a long, um, uh, if I said experience, is not exactly the best word to describe that, but I cannot find some other. You have a long experience of being close to Shri Mataji. Sometime during your recollection, I realized that you are very close, not only physical, but sometimes the physical closeness bring a different the dynamic of the relationship. But again, not only physical, but you've been to Shimataji's places where she live. You uh, been close to Shimataji. You talk with Shimataji. You've been um, Shimataji talk with you, tell you different things. You've been involved in many stuff. I will ask you blindly how you manage to keep yourself um on a right path, because my question have a sub question. Uh, Many people who are having this experience, they don't manage to stay, I should say insane, but sane. But it's not, again, it's not a correct word. But many people doesn't manage well that closeness. My question is simple: how you manage that
Well,
closeness,
uh, I
please?
think my situation is very simple. I was never in a position of responsibility or leadership ever. I was never in charge of anything.
Uh-huh.
If ever I was in charge, nobody knew I was in charge of some small little something. So that way,
You are
people
in
not.
charge. You are in charge of yourself.
Yes, I mean, because I didn't have any official responsibility. If ever mother put me in charge of something very small, people
Yeah.
didn't know also, you see. So in that sense, you see, the entities don't have interest in me, because I don't count. I'm not important, really. It's the people who have a huge responsibility, who are in charge of big projects or a whole country or something really important. Those people get attacked a lot. Because everybody puts attention on them, other yogis also, the entities. But I was unimportant, really. People didn't know what on earth I was doing there. I was just hanging around, in a sense, and doing nothing special or important. At times I was there just to drive CCP or to drive mother's daughters. Small, very small things. I was not even a good driver. I was a terrible driver and I get lost on the roads a lot. So, anyone could do a better job than I. If they wanted a proper driver, they could get it. I just happened to be available. So I didn't have any important role. I think that helped me a lot. It's much easier because you don't get that type of responsibility.
That's that's one part of the answer, Luis. But I believe it's something which is deep inside of you and other people who manage to keep their path. Because what I know from the beginning of Sahaja Yoga is that no one, but no one, can do any harm to a Sahaja Yogi.
True,
Uh,
true.
uh, let alone the another Sahaja Yogi. That, so I learned that from the beginning of Sahaja Yoga. I know you as a Sahaja Yogi cannot be attacked by another Sahaja Yogi, or you cannot attack another one with success.
True,
Can
true.
happen something, can come back
An
to you
attempt, yes. An
as a
attempt,
as a
yes.
boomerang if you attempt to do something.
Yes.
I heard about reverse bandan. I heard about a lot of other stuff which make me wow, never think about that. And I know again, nothing wrong can happen to you from another Sahaja. From a different entity, yes, it's possible, but also it's um, about yourself, how well you are protected from a outside attack. That comes with the second axiom. So first one is no Sahajogi can do a wrong to, not only to a Sahajogi, to a non-Sahajogi. If you want to do a bandan for someone to break his leg, he won't break his leg.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yes. If he's do something wrong to Sahaja Yoga and harass you, like you said with the people who do wrong to Shri Mataji, the office can
On fire even.
goes on fire. But that's something else. I'm talking about little mistake. Our neighbor do something and let's do a bandan and let's break his leg. No, you will break his leg. That's first. The second is um, Shimataji said that if Sahaja Yoga won't succeed or will be something wrong, is won't be possible to be attacked from outside, but all the bad things who can happen is because of us. We have done something wrong and the things cannot go well. So
True.
knowing that, and knowing that the people who are usually in charge, leaders, have big responsibilities on people or on projects, they are not always getting well. They start losing their grip on the right things. So um, my answer, which wasn't the question, wasn't a rhetorical one. I really want to know what you will tell me, but I have my suspicion that if you cannot manage to keep it right, it's more about you than about exterior stuff who attack you.
True, true.
So that's my take. So I don't expect now you to said how well you managed to to keep the right path, but in a way that was my question. How you managed to keep the right path?
I don't know. I mean, I think once mother helps you so much, you never forget how much mother helped you, see.
Yes.
So that love for mother and devotion will always stay. Uh, some such yogis, in the past have tried to, may not have been very pleasant to me, or I think when I first joined Sahaj Yoga, in Portugal, they threw me out of Sahaj,
Oh yeah,
and
you
that was
told me. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
The
that was
old the
that
old guys. Yeah.
that was wonderful because it made me understand that I had better do what mother said, which is to come and visit her. Because when mother told me to come and visit her, my brain said, not now, I'm not coming, it's too expensive, I need to find a job, my parents won't like it if I go again, I've already been there, you see. So, but when they threw me out of Sahaj, and immediately I said, okay, now I'm gonna meet Shrimataji. At last, I'm going to do what she told me to do. And when I arrived, as soon as I told them I'm going to see Shri Mataji, they said, "Oh, really? Okay. In that case, you are back in Sahaj, because they didn't want me to give a bad report about them. You see, because I had seen a few things that were a bit dodgy. And I was going to report them. In fact, my intention was to tell mother what wrong things they had done. But mother did not allow me to give a bad report about anyone. Mother did not want people who give bad reports about the yogis, even when they did wrong. She didn't like it. I think I saw that story of this mother had a cook also there in London. And sometimes you would make a cigarette of Hajwan, you see, just to tease the Saj yogis. So the Saj yogis, oh my God, this guy's smoking. They would report him straight away to mother.
Okay.
And mother knew the game because he knew the game too. Because mother doesn't like people to go and rat on another person, and the guy was teasing them because it was a cigarette made of Hajwan. So it was not real tobacco even. It was just, he was teasing the Saj yogis. So on that occasion, I could not even report about the mistakes that those guys had done there in Portugal. And mother
I will.
showed
I will.
mother showed so much love for them, and how much I should love them also and forgive, and see the good points. And this was mother's philosophy of not seeing wrongs in people, but to see the good points, instead. And mother loved people completely. Even people made mistakes. Mother loved people a lot,
That's the
and
power.
gave.
That's the God power. No, not not our
Yes.
power. Only God can love everybody. I will tell you a little
Yes.
story about and I promise I will ask you to start from there. uh, Come back to your story. I remember something very interesting about a guy from Romania who um, we used to gather to some people houses and do a lot of stuff. Sometime meditation, sometime watching video, DVD, VHR, talking, something like that. And at one stage, the guy said, I would like to drink a beer. I will be quite nice. I have a thirst for a beer. Who wants? I will go to buy one. Who to buy some beer? Who wants to drink some beer? And all the guys and the people there trying to faces and and the guy goes, come back with a bunch of beer, open one, drink it. How nice is not this not alcoholic beer? so,
Oh, yes, ginger beer, yes.
so he tell me the story, and
I know.
of course,
Mother heard about these things. Some such yogis were drinking a thing called ginger beer. Ginger beer does
yes,
not have has no alcohol.
yeah.
But mother
We used to drink ginger beer sometimes.
but mother heard about that and she said, no, 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 stop that. No ginger beer now. Because
Really?
this is oh yes, this is still the old entities in people that are hankering after those habits of the past and
Oh
trying to
no.
find.
To be honest, at least for me, I never
I know, but she
before
told
90
such yogis. But
before
here
I
in
get my
English, she said,
realization, I stopped drinking alcohol with 2 years before, and I stopped smoking. And both of them, of those habits, was a social one. Never,
addiction, yes, no addiction.
although it took me a lot of time to get rid of smoking, not of alcohol. Alcohol was very easy, but was a social habit, because every
Yes.
time when we meet to get together with someone else place, a bottle of something was there. Everybody smoking was like social stuff habit. I mean, my parents, both of them, was smoking when I was young. My grandmother smoking. Only my grandfather doesn't smoke. So that was the environment. So I was raised like that, like 90% of the population, including in the countryside. So, but 2 years before Sahaja Yoga, I stopped that because I realized I don't like it. And plus, make me sick. I mean, the alcohol straight away uh,
Oh, yes, yes.
make me not only dizzy. First of all, don't give me any joy, because usually people drink to give them joy. They feel no, I didn't. I feel sick and headaches and things like that, and the smoking as well. So it's not about it's not about that.
In your case, you see, but there are different cases, you see. Some people, when
Some
mother
people,
heard,
yeah,
when mother heard that such yogis were drinking this
ginger, but ginger
ginger
beer,
beer,
it's only the word beer there. It's not a beer, actually.
I know, but when mother said, no, no, no,
Yeah.
because the entities, you know,
Okay.
are finding a replacement. It's still the same drinking club, you see.
Yeah.
Sometimes even drinking
It's
tea.
not even bitter, which is the thing I don't like it at all to beer. That's why I don't like beer when I used to drink. I wasn't a beer drinker because I don't like bitter uh, stuff, drinks or food. I don't like bitter. So, but ginger, it's yeah,
Makes no difference. I think mother
yeah,
was conscious of the how the entities play with us, you see. So the here she said, no, no, no for such yogis, no, although there's no alcohol, no ginger beer, in case the Buddhas, use those tricks to come back again. I tell you, we're doing something at Shalsham Road.
yes,
We started a club by which we're doing a puja every Sunday. So when mother came, mother was on Indian tour, then she came back and she said, so how are things? What are you doing? Oh, we are doing a puja now at Shalsham Road every Sunday. And mother said, stop it immediately. Otherwise, it becomes like going to church. These butch that like to go to church every Sunday, they may come back to you. So be careful. So don't do a puja religiously every Sunday at the ashram. Stop it immediately. Okay, so sometimes the butch find ways of coming back through habits, conditionings, and routines. So even that puja at Salsham Road, which was the official ashram every Sunday, no, 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 no. Don't do it like that. Otherwise, there's a danger. Those church boots that like to go to church on Sunday, they might come back to you. You see? So the same it was with the beer. There was a danger for some people that some of those entities who like beer or like alcohols, they may feel like coming back again,
yeah.
without you noticing. You see. So the dangers were there.
But your
So
story about the puja, uh, done it religiously and maybe dogmatically, or the danger of becoming a dogmatic uh, habit, if I may. If it's dogmatic, it's habit. Um, that's a quite interesting. I reckon you told me once that, but now I feel the need to emphasize more about this in our discussion, which is getting closer to the end. But I don't want to end it before we touch that subject. The danger of routine who lead you to dogmatism, who lead you to fanaticism, who in the end will lead you out of the right path. Do you think we as a Sahaja yogi, as a whole, not as a persons, um touch that um, habit?
maybe because we do things according to our traditions, according to our habits. I think if you went to a Catholic country like France and see the way they do pujas, you might feel if you knew about the how people go to church in France and do, you may notice a little influence there. Or if you go and see how we do pujas in England, and you knew a lot about the way that people, the Protestants, do their religion in this country, you may notice sometimes a little influence, could be there. Also, with the Indians, the way they do Saj Yoga in India is a little different sometimes because it has a certain Hindu influence also sometimes. So those things are natural, you see. This is the influence of the culture. And Mother allowed a little freedom and variety because India has so many traditions, Some people saw, oh my God, what are they doing? This is not the way to do puja. And the person would say, oh, well, this is how Mother showed me how to do puja in India many years ago. And it's true. At times, mother would do something different on a certain occasion because they knew that family is different, is a family from a different tradition. Mother knew all the different traditions in India, and she could do things according to one tradition one day, and then another day in another part of India for another family which is from another tradition. She may change things again and do it according to another tradition.
But
And the amount of varieties is immense, you see. And
my
some people,
my worries are not about the diversity. My worries about uh, uh, let's talk about the puja. So when it's coming to puja, my worries are not about doing in too many ways. My worries is doing the same way all the time and the
true,
same
true.
way in the same place. So I'm the advocate of doing puja protocol, changing a little bit the protocol sometimes. I mean, improve it or diversify it, not the skeleton of the protocol, for example, should be the same, but the diversity should be taken into consideration. Sometimes doing a little bit different, sometimes trying something else, not being stuck in the same way, because that will lead, in my view, to
Ritualism, a certain fixed
ritualism,
ritualism. Yes, yes.
dogmatism, and in the end will go to fanatism, because some people after so many years will say that's the way to do puja. If you move something differently, it's not all right. Go out.
Yes, we had these
That's my
discussions in
that's my
England.
problem. Yeah.
Yes, these discussions have been there, you see. I think the Indian Saj yogis, they were doing a puja to mother's feet, and they used, instead of using mother's feet on the photograph, they were pouring the water onto mother's sandals. What do you call that? Is the Guru chapels.
Yes.
You know, those
Chapels.
chapels of the Guru. And they were doing it, and some Saj yogis in England got shocked because this is not the way to do puja. We pour the water on photo of mother's feet, not onto the chapels.
The chapels was original or a different one? That's the big difference.
Yes, that is the thing that the mother gave them those chapels to that ashram in
Yeah.
India, and she told them to use them, you
Yeah.
see. So there's a tradition there, you see. So they also have the photo of mother's feet. The photo of mother's feet is even more important than the chapels, has to be there. So they had done everything because they had the photograph of mother's feet there, over which they put the perfume and the kumkum
Yes.
and the rose water. They cleaned it with
Yeah.
rose water,
Yeah.
but then they were pouring the water on those guru
Chapel.
chapels, you see,
Yeah.
which they represent Sri Rama. You also remember the brother of Sri Rama used to put the chapels of Lord Rama on his head and go on a procession. So mother gave them those chapels to them and told them to use them. So they had to use it, you see. They were doing nothing wrong, but it was a little variation on the rituals. In England, mother also used those. Mother gave the English also one of those sandalwood chapels
Yeah.
for Guru Puja, and so they were touched by mother. Mother would put the feet on those chapels for a few seconds only,
Yeah.
and then that's it. We don't pour water on those because they're made of wood; they would get spoiled.
Yes.
But mother gave some made of silver, so those are waterproof. You can pour the water. Well, some people in England got so upset that the Indians were pouring the water on the silver chapels, and this is not how mother did it, and this and that. And these Indian people, they were doing what mother told them, you see. And then they found out lots of people, mother gave those little chapels, not just at ashram, mother in India gave those chapels made of silver. Padukas, they call it padukas. Mother
Yes.
gave the padukas to lots of people, even individual Saj yogis. They also received from Mother a present, which was some silver padukas. So
Really?
Mother, yes,
Oh,
we didn't know that, but there was lots of people in America also. "Oh, I also have some silver padukas Mother gave me," and Mother
you?
told them, "No, I don't have. No, Mother never gave me. No."
No.
In England, Mother gave us a few, but they are made of wood, so we cannot pour water on them and spoil
No.
them. But in America, Mother also gave to some yogis some silver padukas, and she told them make sure you use them, for
Hmm.
puja at home.
Yeah.
So, so you can imagine how people are so upset with the silver padukas.
Yeah.
And it's not the problem. But the truth is, Mother's feet, the photograph of Mother's feet, is even more important than the padukas. So it's best to use a bit of everything. If
It,
you want to,
exactly.
if you
So
if you
if
want perfection, you can have a bit of everything.
yes,
But this
exactly. But when
but
it's coming,
you don't need to be upset when someone does something different,
yes,
because sometimes you will be doing something that you learned from Mother, or you learned from another Saj yogi who learned from Mother many years ago, when things were done a little bit different. And Mother changed things over the years. So certain things in the beginning, Mother at one point said, "Okay, now we don't do puja to the statues of the deities during my puja." So during Mother's puja, we stopped doing puja to the statues of the deities. So Mother became,
you used to pour water on the statue or how?
in England in the beginning, there was a little bit water was poured on the little statue of Sri Ganesha and things like that, or a
Yeah.
betel nut. A
Yes.
betel nut also represents Sri Ganesha. These things were done for a while.
And
And then
Shimataji
suddenly
said
she
no.
said, "Okay, no, there's no need to do that anymore. So things changed. So there was some ancient traditions that changed gradually. So if sometimes you find a yogi who is doing still the old style, he could be someone who learned that from Mother many years ago, and he kept the tradition going. Meanwhile, Mother already changed the traditions a little bit, and so there's a lot of variety in India and also in the West. Mother never did the same exactly the same.
Yeah.
Mother had a lot of variety, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's our problem to deal
But
with this diversity and be
yes,
open, but
open, yes.
very careful because you have to be careful to be on the right path when you do this kind of diversity because sometimes you can go in other direction which is non so it's
True,
a,
it can
a
happen. It's a
very
fine
fine
line, yes.
line, very
Fine line,
fine line
yes.
here which show how much our discretion is right, is good.
I
So
think here in England, people argue about the duration, the time of the puja. English pujas are some of the longest ones in the whole world.
how long?
Even Oh, they can be 4 hours or more sometimes. But in India, the Indian Saj yogis, in their discipline, they start on time. Their pujas in India, they always start on time.
Really?
Yes, that's what I hear. Maybe 15 minutes late. If they say puja starts at 12, they'll start at the latest 12:15.
Yes,
And then the puja is very short and lasts less than 3 hours, 2 hours and a half, it's done.
yes.
So they know how to do puja very fast. They say the mantras fast and
Yes.
well, and they do the whole ritual very fast. Less than 3 hours, the puja is finished.
Including
In
the
England,
talk, including the talk.
including everything, mother's talk and meditation and mantras and rituals and this,
Yeah,
in less than 2, 3 hours, they're done.
yeah.
And in England, we take almost 4 hours sometimes to do it. So it's a big
Why?
difference in time.
What are you doing for 4 hours?
Because there are so many rituals. What we do is that we let everybody can come and wash mother's feet on the photograph. Almost everybody can come. So there's a huge queue of children and so many children. You see, so it takes a long time. So all the
That's
children,
a good thing for
but it
children.
takes longer. It
For
takes longer.
children,
So
yeah.
all the children are allowed to wash mother's feet, all of them. So
Yeah.
it takes a long time. And then bhajans, you do lots of bhajans for many hours. So the puja in England can take 4.5 hours sometimes. Some people say
The
that's too
bhajans,
long.
the bhajans are good, not a problem, because the bhajans
No.
are prayers. If
Yes, they are. They are.
if we manage to treat the bhajans like a prayer, like a worship, which I don't do it very often, although I push myself to do that because I'm not a good singer, but if I go along with others, I could do it. The problem with the bhajans is the fact that they are not incorporated in the protocol fully. Usually, uh, we are not doing nearly anything during a song, a bhajan. So we wait to finish the bhajan, and after that do something else. Where in my view we should do it in a flow continuously. Everything which is done in front of Shri Mataji, all the protocol should be done during the singing, not waiting for a bhajan to finish and after that do something else. So that's incorporation is not always follow. Luckily, in New Zealand, except that one, so we still work on that one. We also have a fairly short puja, again about 3 hours,
Very
including
good. Very
including
good.
the talk. So also, like I said, we start about 4 o'clock. Amazingly, we start being again um not late, also 10-15 minutes, exactly like the Indians. So slowly, yeah, we getting there. So in about 3 hours, we are 2 hours and a half sometimes. We are finished, and after that,
Very good.
with the prasad, um, we work a little bit on that one because not always we keep the blessing state of the end of the puja during the prasad. For a while, a while ago, um, we treat that part of puja, which I consider it part of the puja, distributing and
Oh,
eating
yes.
the prasad.
Absolutely.
It's one of the important things.
Yes,
We
yes.
treat it a little bit less with less importance, but slowly we are getting there, and we now we are quite good. Nothing happens before the prasad is distributed and eat it, and after that they start singing again, dancing, whatever. After that,
Yes.
eating. So yeah, it's good. But we have only a little problem with the amrut, which speaking about the protocol, sometimes you can wash Mataji's feet, the picture,
Oh,
with,
yes, yes.
with the five elements. Sometimes you do it often, sometimes you do it less often. There are periods, but there are some habits, some collective, they are not doing at all. So again, my problem is, man, time to time, try to do that, to do
Yes, yes. The
the
five
one,
Amrut. Yes.
pouring the five elements, making the
Yes.
amrut directly there. So it's not always good to offer only the little uh, uh, how you call them, the little containers with the five elements to Shimataji, and that's all. They will make the amrut after that, but it's not the same. So
True, true.
that's why,
Yes. I mean, we love drinking the Amrut after the puja. Taking the Amrut is it's quite a blessing, isn't it?
yes, yes.
It
And
feel
they,
it feels a good thing to do. Some people take home a little bit for their children, for the babies and
okay,
everything. It's a very powerful thing, this Amrut.
yes,
It's a really good
exactly.
one to have.
Exactly. They come to us after they making the amrut, which again they make the amrut after they finishing the puja. Someone is in charge with that, some people, and make the mixture and so on, and they put it in little tumblers.
Yes, yes.
you know, and they
Exactly.
come
Yes,
with a
exactly, brother.
with a plate with the tumblers, and they take the tumblers and put drinking.
Yes.
Well,
It's a great medicine. It's really,
exactly.
it's a fantastic thing.
But will be better if the amrut was made directly
At
on.
the spot on mother's feet on the
Yes,
foot, yes, even
yes,
better, yes.
yeah. I'm not
But
saying
some,
all the time because after that you'll fall in the different ritualism. You do only that. So every puja will be like that. So sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. So,
in fact, there was a great miracle here in England, all over the world. Remember that one? I think suddenly there was a miracle in England that the statues of Sri Ganesha, they were receiving the milk. You were pouring the milk on the statue of Sri Ganesha in the Hindu temples, and it looked like the milk was disappearing, as if Sri Ganesha was drinking that milk. And the same happened in the United States because there are some Hindu temples there. And I remember this happening, and people ask, Mother, is this genuine? Is Sri Ganesha really drinking the milk, And Mother said, yes, this is genuine. It happened, And then Mother explained why it happened. There was a puja in India where they had ordered the milk, for the puja, but the milk never arrived. Whoever was in charge of bringing the milk, maybe the car broke down or the milk delivery did not arrive. This was a puja with mother in person. And that day they didn't have any milk for the puja. So they did with the water, the honey, the sugar, the ghee, this, that, but no milk, of hardly any.
mm,
And at the same time, because so Shiganesha likes the milk, so Shiganesha drank the milk in the temples, not there in the during Mother's puja. There was not milk, so he accepted it. Shiganesha accepted the milk in those temples all over the
different.
world. So I was driving through the road, and what a massive queue to because I live in a Indian area, so there's some Hindu temples here. And the queue to the temple of Sri Ganesha here was enormous, that queue, and everybody outside the temple was bringing a gallon of milk in the hand. So everybody's queuing to offer a gallon of milk to the statue. See, meanwhile, this was happening also in United States. There was also two places, I think, where the same miracle was happening at the same time. So we saw those queues of people. And next day, people were still there offering, bringing more milk, more milk, more milk. And so mother said that, yes, I mean, Shiganesha didn't get his milk on that occasion because the delivery failed, for mother's puja, but he got it elsewhere, you see. So the rituals were done in a sense. There was a solution for Sri Ganesha.
But how the people, the Hindu people who go to the temple knew to bring milk? What?
Well, they
Who
do
who
because the
give them?
ban- the priest there, they have a ritual of washing the statue with milk,
Yes, yes.
and
But
the
so
priest.
much milk, you need so much milk. I mean,
Oh, it's crazy. This is a crazy miracle because it's too much. Gallons and gallons too much. So the
exactly.
priest, the priest was pouring the milk, as a part of a ritual. Only the
Over
priest did that
over the statue.
over the statue, washing the statue of Saganesh with milk, and he noticed that the milk was disappearing instead of having the same
Ah,
amount of
so they
milk.
bring more.
So, okay, let's put more. Oh, it's disappearing, the milk. The milk is disappearing. So, a kind of a rumor spread that, look, Sri Ganesh is drinking
Drinking.
up the milk. So,
Wow.
oh, really? Okay, then I'll bring some more. The word, but with a mobile phone, everybody heard. So, all the Hindus came, oh, I want to bring some. If Sri Ganesh is drinking it, I want to bring some also. So, there was
Ah,
a queue, a big queue on the road of people with the gallons and gallons of milk coming,
when?
I don't.
Do you
So,
remember when this stuff
uh,
happens?
I don't remember the year. Maybe 87, 88. I don't remember now.
Wow.
But this still
You
happened.
live in that neighborhood
Yes, I live in this neighborhood.
and you still live there.
I still live here, yes.
Oh,
Southall. It's called Southall. It was on TV. The first time I heard about it, I
uh-huh.
think we went to an Indian Saj Yogi, Indian relation of mother, a man who knew mother, you see. He was supplying the tickets for the Indian tour, So we went to see him. to get some tickets for the Indian tour. That's why I went there. And they had the TV. He had Indian TV channels. You see. So while we were there for him to process the tickets,
Yeah.
there was an Indian TV channel there playing in Hindi. I don't know, or Punjabi. I don't know what
Yeah.
language it was. And so he told us, "Oh, look, there's this miracle taking place there." Oh, really? That's where I live. Okay. So when I drove back, I saw, yes, it's true. The queue
Wow.
is very big, you see. Then later we heard that it also happened in the United States and maybe also in India. Also, there was a temple in India, also it happened, you see. So
Wow.
it was a worldwide miracle all the same time, coordinated all over the world. This was happening, you see. This is very hard to prove. But the priest noticed that the milk seemed to be disappearing, you see.
Wow.
And other priests noticed the same at the same time, and suddenly it went viral, you know. Everybody wants to bring milk now.
Yeah. Fantastic. Um, want to ask you about Carol, what she's doing. Uh,
Carol, right now, she's probably sleeping.
she's probably no. I was interested what she's doing in general. She's okay.
Well,
Uh,
she's retired. She's retired, you know, doing a bit of gardening sometimes and decorating a little bit, you know, to keep fit, to keep active, you know.
I do not give up on trying to bring her at least for a little bit to talk about uh, her work. I know you told me already that she's um, not comfortable coming unprepared and she want to have something written down, but I still please tell her um, that we appreciate very much spontaneous recalling and few little words about uh, uh, what she's doing with the your project, your both of you project. So I want a little bit of stuff. So maybe I don't know when she will be comfortable with that.
Let's
That
see. Let's see. She's
maybe
not very keen.
I
She
know,
prefers to she
but I'm
prefers to read
still
from a script. She sometimes does a presentation to do with our research, but she's reading from a script usually.
yeah, I know.
She
I
reads
mean,
it.
you told me, and yeah, I know about that. But
She
we'll
does
be,
not. I mean, I will talk and say something and improvise, and I talk a lot of nonsense, but she does not. She does not like to do that.
you in the end, we are Portuguese and Romanian, so
Yes.
we are doing what we are doing. It's
Because
our
I'm improvising. I'm talking a lot of nonsense most of the time, but you know, we're doing our best at least.
no, it's not nonsense, Luis. Uh, your recollections are, at least for me, but I know from other people that they are enjoying these memories and yeah, our changing changing ideas. Um,
I thought we were going to talk about your book today, maybe another day. You
maybe
have to tell
another
you have
day.
to tell us a little bit.
You are very kind to call it a book. I still call
It
it.
is a great book.
I
It's a very
still
great book.
I still calling an essay because it is. It's a an attempt to make sense of things. At some stage, I write it down somewhere as a subtitle, an attempt to make sense of things. But I want to make sure that I squeeze everything from you. So I want to make sure that you tell me all the interesting things you live through, especially with Shimataji, but also with your work. So that's why I'm pushing in that direction. We can talk about any subject in the end. I feel very good in the conversation with you. I have very good time, and I hope you have as well. So
I do. I enjoy myself. Thank you. You have a lot of patience to listen to all my nonsense.
it's not nonsense, Luis. The only thing we can be accused is the fact that we are not uh, keeping to the script because we don't have a
No,
script.
no.
Also,
I know. I know.
talk we talk about a lot of stuff. Um, on that note, I want to finish our today conversation with the promise that we will meet again as soon as possible, as soon we are available. And I want to thank you again for everything, for your memories, for your insight, for everything we talk about. And thanks also to the people who are watching us for their patience. Jai Shri Mataji,
Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you,
until,
Daniel.
until next time, I thank you.
The next time. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.